Right now, most people using Claude Code are building things that look impressive on paper, but don't actually do anything useful in their business. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 super useful things you should use Claude Code for that most people have no idea about. But before we get into it, if you haven't grabbed the free Claude Code blueprint, go and do it right now. It's a free interactive course that teaches you Claude Code by actually using it. You download the files, you open the folder and you type start lesson 1 into Claude Code and Claude takes it from there. So you can click the first link in the description below to download it right now. Okay, let's get into use case number 1, content repurposing, where we're going to grab a video transcript, repurposing it into multiple pieces of content. Then we're going to create some images and we're going to schedule it. So let's get into, let me grab a transcript first. I'm going to grab one of my videos here, scroll down and grab the transcript here, copy the transcript. We're going to head over to Claude Code. I use Warp because I can see all my files down here. I've got all my sessions. I mean, you can't see that. I've got all my sessions up top. And if I want to open up a file, for example, if I just go into like a call recording, I could see the file here on the right. So I've got everything in one window here. This is essentially a terminal with an agent in. So if I have any issues with commands and stuff, I can just ask it. And there's a generous free tier. But let's go and hit Claude and open up Claude in our terminal here. And then we are going to run this content atomizer skill. I'm going to paste this in here. Now I do have another skill, content create, which it allows me a little bit more control over the quality of the content. We go through headlines, we grade them on a scale of 1 to 10 based on direct response marketing principles. Then we write the copy and then we get into the image stuff. This is a little bit different. It's going to basically give us a one shot. So which platforms do we want the content for? Let's go LinkedIn, X, Instagram. Let's take it all. And the goal is to, let's say, mix of both. Submit the answers. We'll see what it comes up with. So you can see here, it's reading my voice MD file. And this is important. If you don't have one of those, you're just going to get some generic AI slop, right? Which you've all seen before. Important that you have a voice MD file configured. Now, when you're doing content with AI, it's just the amount of time that you put in on the front end to give examples, to give frameworks on hooks and the way that your posts are structured, is going to pay off in dividends. And as you move forward, you take your top performing posts and you feed them back. I have a feedback cycle where I have the X API connected into another automation that runs every single week, and it checks my posts, it finds the top posts, and then it grabs a copy and it basically informs one of the voice files that I have. It's not the voice MD file. I have like a voice update file where it's going to add the top performing posts into that and modify any of the rules and things like this. So typically repurposing a piece of content could end up taking hours, right? If you have to rewrite it for different platforms, you have to create the image. Even just 6 months ago, you probably creating images in Canva by hand, but now the models are so good. We're going to use the ChatGPT OpenAI image model 2, which I think is excellent, probably one of the best out there. And that's what's going to create the image. And then we're going to use Blotato for the scheduling to all the platforms. Okay, so let's take a look at the output here. So we've got a LinkedIn, we've got 8 slides of a carousel. I think these could be pretty good. We are going to turn that carousel into a PDF. So I'll whip that through the carousel skill that I already have built out. LinkedIn post. Okay, it's reasonable. I would definitely work on this hook, to be honest. That's the most important part of the post. Got to get that right. But for the rest of the post, I'd say it's reasonable. Let's give us a thread on X. Right, it's got 10 posts in the thread. We've got a comment blueprint. Now that might not work with the auto DM that I have in Typefully, so it might not work with a thread. So we might just go with the standalone post here. We've got a few different ones. Yeah, nobody tells you this about Claude Code. Okay, I probably use that. Instagram carousel, similar to the LinkedIn one, and then Instagram reel script, which, yeah, I think that's an okay hook. Most Claude Code tutorials are setting you up to fail. It's kind of a contrarian take. And then we've got TikTok script, which is basically the same. YouTube script, similar. It's a shorts script. Okay, looks good. So could you create me the carousel for Instagram and LinkedIn? The LinkedIn needs a PDF. And then can we use the image skill to create the image for the X post and the LinkedIn post? And then I'm just going to invoke the AI image factory. And then we'll see what it comes up with. So we've just got a few questions here in the gate. So let's just show you. We've got the cover headline for the carousel, cover arts, what do we want to go with, the post images. I'm going to submit all of those. And this is a really useful part of when you're creating content. You don't just want AI to go ahead and create everything without asking you. Again, the more input that you have, the more nuance and context you're able to give it on the style that you want. Now, the image skill that I created isn't like, it has a bunch of references from my existing images that are like, that got millions of views. So I take those, I feed them in, and then it extracts like a formula for that image. And so I have a few different, let's say, recipes that I can pull from with the skill that I've built. So it's not just like taking the post and deciding what to create from scratch. It's got my brand guidelines in there. So my colors, my fonts, typography, that kind of thing. And then it's got those image recipes. So let's see what it comes up with when we get the final outputs here. And then we're going to schedule it with Blotato, which should just be like a one-line command here. All right, boom, we're done with everything. So that took about, what, 7 or 8 minutes. And I'm going to show you the images. So we've got this carousel cover image, not so great. We've got a LinkedIn image here, okay, reasonable. And this X thread image, which I think is also reasonable. And we've got the copy here. And then we've got the PDF for LinkedIn that we could put up, and this is going to show the slides on LinkedIn. So next step really is to get all of this scheduled using Blotato. So let's go ahead and do that. Can you go ahead and schedule the LinkedIn post with the LinkedIn PDF? We want the Instagram carousel with the Instagram copy, and then we want the X thread scheduled with the X cover image, which we're going to use, yeah, the pixel image, and go ahead and do that. Okay, excellent. All of those are scheduled. We've got a LinkedIn carousel with the 8 swipeable slides. We couldn't upload the PDF with Blotato MCP, so it's using the images instead, which is fine. The X thread and the Instagram carousel. So there we have it. That took 26 minutes. You can see at the top of my session, that's how long this session's been running. And I think that's not bad. Like, that'll take you a long time if you have to write those posts, create the images, and then schedule them. Everything's scheduled for Monday morning. Cool, so let's get on to the next use case. Live dashboards, where we're combining data from Stripe, from PostHog. I'm gonna show you one of my live dashboards. So I built this inside Claude Code. It's got my branding and all of this cool stuff. And here, for example, you can see workshop buyers. So I'm pulling in data from Stripe to give me the revenue, number of buyers, kind of the funnel stages. So people who are taking the order bumps, the upsells, all that good stuff. And then we've got kind of the funnel stats here, which is, as a marketer, is kind of good to know what those numbers look like. And then revenue by source. So I've got UTM links on different platforms, and it's able to track where the sales are coming from. So this is, I mean, this is one of the best things that you can do for your business, is to create your own dashboards, because in PostHog, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. It's similar to Google Analytics, a lot more flexible, and you can build in the MCP into Claude Code. And so I've got the Stripe CLI in Claude Code. I've got the PostHog MCP, and those two combined, I can build any kind of dashboard for any kind of sales that I'm running. Yeah, if you don't have something like this for your business, this is a game changer. And you can hook up any kind of data source that you want and create any kind of dashboard that you want. Like, you can pull reports. You can see here I've got like a UTM generator. So for different platforms, if I want to generate a UTM link for tracking purposes, and then we've got, you know, an affiliate link creator here as well. So yeah, that's what I've created. It's going to be different for you, but you can see this is the same branding that I have for my website. Like, if I take you through to my website here, you can see pretty much the same kind of branding. Well, I want to give you an example of one of my students. Chris Cole is a civil engineer. He runs an engineering company in California. He deals with very large government contracts. He's handling sort of 9 figures, $1 billion in construction projects in the government. And so he deals with a lot of clunky software, and he was able to build a reporting system that basically completely replaced a software tool, a Microsoft Access system that he was dealing with, that he was paying $30K a year for. And so he's one of my best students in the mentorship. He's absolutely smashing it. And you can see in the AI Architects website, if you go to clients, you'll be able to see his case study. This was from a few months ago. So he's building some, the stuff that he's been building recently is very impressive. He's getting paid very well for it, as he's building it for his clients. And this is a recent system that he was building with Claude Code. He's been with me for, I think over 6 months now, and has built we were building in NA10. If you remember, even just a few months ago, back in sort of December, January, it was still kind of the tool to use. But now Claude Code has taken over, and Chris is an absolute whiz when it comes to building tools for his business that actually save a ton of time, get rid of a ton of manual processes, and actually make money for him and his business and his clients. So the next thing I wanted to mention, this is use case number 3, is a full brief before every sales call. You know that you need to be prepared, right? But sometimes you just end up not finding the time to research your prospects. And so what I have is, not only do I have kind of a sales process, but it's applying that sales process to the information that I get from the application forms. So let me show you what I mean. So over here, let's just get up a new tab, and I can come into my sales process folder, and I'll show you the briefings that I get. So we've got these pre-call briefs here. And if I just, I don't know, pull one of these at random. Okay, so we can see here, we've got the pre-call brief, who they are, a 30-second read, identity snapshot. So these are things that we can touch on in the call, what to open with, things to dig into in regards to the discovery. It's like trial closes, bridge to the offer, and like things to watch out for, and key phrases that this person will probably resonate with. So this can be custom to your own sales process, of course, but I have this automation set up that runs in the background. So when somebody comes in and they put an application in, it gets added to my Airtable. And then I have an automation that scans this Airtable, I think every sort of couple of hours. And then it pulls the information from the Airtable and then runs a prompt on it. And then this is what I end up with afterwards with the pre-call brief. So now I can show up before a call, about 10, 15 minutes, read through the pre-call brief, and it's very specific to my sales process. So it's like having a sales script that's customized to that prospect every single time. So I think if you take sales calls or if you have meetings, this is something that you can customize to your own needs and your own kind of use case. And again, you just ask Claude, hey, can you build me this automation? Or go ahead and build a script. I wonder if I could see the script in this folder. You can see the sync briefs from Airtable. So there's some scripts in here that's running all of this in the background. So use case number 4, a live website from a Google reviews listing in minutes, right? So some businesses, they don't have a site, right? And so if you're a company who's building websites, or you're doing SEO, or you just want to get more business and get noticed, you can find a company that has no website, and you can just throw in their Google profile and spin something up. Even if they do have a website, this could be a really cool way to pitch like a redesign. And then the other use case is for yourself. Like if you want to create something cool, a new website, a new design from scratch, this could be a way to go about it. Like you can see the style here is very much like my website because I have brand guidelines, I have colors, I have typography, I have fonts, I have layouts and spacings. And so you could see it's all very coherent to my brand. And so that's what we're going to create here with a quick demo. So being British, I found a fish and chip restaurant here, and it has no website. You can see on the Google listing, there's no website listed. You see, add a website. And it's got 473 reviews at an average of 4.4. This is a good place, right? So we're going to grab the link and we're going to come over to Claude Code and we're going to build a website. So let's just whip up another instance of Claude. And then I'm going to enter plan mode, right? If you're not doing this before you actually do builds, then this is just a huge unlock. So do this. I'm going to voice note in and then we'll come back. So the plan has been completed and it's done a lot of work here before we've even built anything. It's scraped the Google Maps listing using Firecrawl specifically, which is an MCP that I've got hooked up, which is great at getting structured data from online, from web pages and things like this. And now it's gone to the visual style. Now, I didn't actually give it any references. I was like, okay, let's see what we can do here one shot. And now it's just asking for a bit of direction on the visuals. We're going to do heritage and how should I make the logo? let's do both and submit those. And let's see, I mean, we can do /plan. So here is the plan. Now, you wouldn't get this much detail if you just said, hey, you put in a prompt, say, build this, and it goes ahead and goes and works on a build. And it will confidently do that, but you're not going to get the quality if you don't plan. Right. I also use other tools like Superpowers, which is a skill, which is great for building tools, but plan mode is still great for most applications. So you can see it's pull out all the details. We've got reviews, we've got the menu. It's even scraped all the items off the menu because they do have a menu linked on here. We're going to create a HTML plus CSS. We've got where it's going to save the details of the website or the build. And we've got design direction, page structure, logo, and verification. So let's just flick it into auto mode, sit back, and I'll be back with you when this is done. So one of the things that came up while it was building, it's done now. I'll show you the results in a second. It said, install the front-end design plugin, which I don't have. So I'm installing this right now, but I'm going to show you what it's built without that. Let's take a look, shall we? So we've got a local host here, so you can see it's taken an image off the Google listing. I think this is a decent one shot. We've got the reviews, see the menu. Let's see if that works. Yep, comes down to the menu. Hey, it's got photos from the reviews. Let's click on that. Okay, it doesn't do anything. Got all the reviews here, which is awesome. Come and see us. Got the directions, a phone number, maps. This is everything a local business wants, right? So I'm pretty happy with this. You can see it's created a logo here. Let's see what are the logos that it's generated. Okay, so it only created one logo, and that's fine. We can tweak this, but this for one shot is, I think, pretty decent. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm curious. So the fifth and final use case is invoice handling. So typically this is a bit of a messy process. You'll get invoices emailed to you, and what happens from there, you have to manually upload them into a tool, and then that tool has to extract the info, and it just gets a little bit messy. And do we even need those tools, right? So one of the things that you can create, and this is just an example, you can kind of style it however you want, but I've got this invoice upload tool. So if we just grab an invoice, got an invoice here, right? And if I drag and drop that in and grab it from here, drag and drop it in, process the invoice, and then in just a few moments, what's going on behind the scenes is that invoice is going to get read and scanned, going to extract the information that we need from it to send over to Airtable, which is where we're storing all of this information. Okay, it already exists, I think from a previous run, but we're going to save it anyway and check over in Airtable. So we can see here, uploaded via the web app, and it's extracted all of this information from this test invoice. So this is just a way that you can extract information and set it up in your own database. And you can get as complex as you want with this. You can have that completely automated where you have Claude Code scan your emails every single day, look for emails that mention an invoice, extract the attachment, scan the attachment, and add it to a database like this. So that's what Claude Code can do when you point it at real work, not just fancy demos. Now, if you're watching this thinking you want to build things like this for your own business, I run something called Zero to Deployed. It's a 90-day private build intensive with just 10 operators. And the next cohort, you're going to build one-on-one with me, the founder, not a team in between. And in your first week, we get on a call together one-on-one, and we build your first live agent together. It's going to be running in your business and doing real work by the end of week 1. And after that, you build the next one yourself with a live group call every week, direct access to me in the DMs whenever you get stuck. And if that first build doesn't genuinely save you time or money, you get every penny back. So there are 10 spots, and the link is in the description below, and I look forward to speaking to you very soon. And if you like this video, you'll like the next one as well. So go and watch that next, and I will see you in the next one.